Hello once again, everyone. I am Rippington, and I am back with some more Final Fantasy XIV Reborn. I'm sorry I didn't get to do any Ender Lily stream last week. Things were just kind of hectic at the moment. I was really tired. But I'm back. And with a bit of a different look to Thousand this time. But without further ado, last we left off, Moonbreeda died. Yep. Rest in peace, Urianger's love interest that we will forget for that we will now forget for the majority of the story. Have you a moment, Valzin? I believe Yida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbreeda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Okay. Hey, it's Valzin! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, no? Thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at best at times, and, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So I was wondering, do you think maybe you could collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Wraithfrost. Up to daisy. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade. Eh? Got to running errands now? Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it. Until that Yida lasts, I got a wide selection of hot headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. Gods no, she needs to. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, She insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable, and when I tell her I like it just the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me. So, anyway, let's get to it. Let's see it. Moon Rita loved these, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Ominous. Here be dragons. That's quite a number of dragons.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud
We
and
have
clear.
received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Mubrina's passing. The loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. Our envoy from Karthus will soon arrive. We must hasten to hear her report. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me here at such short notice. Bleh. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries if I may. Certainly. You come with news of the Dravanians? Aye. The dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago. The battle will soon be joined thereafter. Sir Emmerich himself sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced to retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. Is it reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Emmerich would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Karthus at once. Must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest at Ul'dah must take precedence. It has such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I did not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. The fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still upon us, no matter how unpromising. Very well. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations, and have them present her request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does not receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Emmerich's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. Faced Midgard Zorma and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. It would seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Alzen. Oh. Didn't realize we get a cutscene. An actual one.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Starting to lose some sympathy with you, Isar. Okay. Surprised there's no music. It seems I was the swifter, Valzin. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical ward. Our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. But we'll be fine. It would seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions! We expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretics' treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Did we miss each other? Because as far as I know, this is the only way into Ishgard. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we are bid. Return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Haurchefant will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. It is reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But did you not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling? The Lord Commander has arrived. I would treat with you in the intercessory. Yeah. Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside? I'm slumping in his chair. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphinaud, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. That's Horshafont. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Azure Dragoon. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess, I know precious little of the Order of the Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, were chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. If I was ever without equal, I am no longer. My fellow Azure Dragoon here will attest. Be at ease, Valzin. I did not come to challenge you this day. Oh yeah, that's right. I have experience as a Dragoon. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. It would seem that Iceheart and the Dravanian share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, not the 7 great worms. This name features prominently in your nation's history, and once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the piece is said to have terrorized Kurthis since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many of the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the behested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of its strength. Then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Though the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. We must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms, who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that, we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness that the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem you have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, and I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Travania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? Make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what we follow, not what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger. Most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Kurthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole providence of beasts and beastmen. Unlike the Gallians' arrival, that is. Until the Gallians' arrival, that is. You may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Kurthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An Imperial province sharing a border with Modona? 7 hells. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar...
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not. I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. And the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me, wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice.
Then the worm who roared...
was Nidhogg. Aye.
He means to hurl his horde against Denethor's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city.
Me no doubt, the worm has summoned his minions to war.
While the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? The Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders. I suspect the softening of the Holy See's attitude toward foreign cooperation was just something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make a report to the Antecedent. I'm not wasting time, I'm important. I'm done wasting time, I'm important.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Nothing.
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
Hmm. I bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Gret and Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support, I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers. Gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Kurthis. It's not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray, brief Slaveborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might ring its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, I suggest you have Dotario accompany you. She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of practical challenges we may encounter. We are close to Kurthis, aren't we? Let's see to our own defenses and take some of our supplies. Oh, and we'll need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. Your receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Bowsen. I have 101 things to discuss with Reborn.
Appreciate the war. I appreciate the warning. If war's coming to cut this, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. We'll also see about finding room for any infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I will return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. We no official Adventurers Guild presence at the siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf. You might try your luck here at Revenant's Tunnel, but I say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms.
Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I am not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. What's this about, Riol? Ishgard sounds like she's in a raw mess. That ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. Indeed, you cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilred was there with the fort that day. I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? No? God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilred stopped turning up for duty, the black market weapons went missing from our vault in Uldar. So now, of course, half the blades suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Talk like that, believe our company a disciplined fighting force. But as you, me, and both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that has bound us together is the same vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in his crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp among wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed in the ledges. Something about the page's numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I stumbled on. And I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road, you got a water wage, so I'll let you go on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Bowsen. I'm very certain it's. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm tripping over my words. So Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, these nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. Ah, but I've pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Honest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do? What to do? So we blade to the Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fierce lot. It's slain me fair, but it's slain me fair share. The coin was good. I worked for one of them knights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk, he did. Still, I put up with worse than that for a happy purse. Ah, yes, the power of the myth, the power of the ancient arts of capitalism. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. It was to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. There you are, Valzin. So, did you sway any hearts? Only the greedy ones. 1 or 2, eh? Well, add to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slaveborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up with the recruiting, I almost forgot. It's been a word from Alphino. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight. And they requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you best make your way to Ul'dah, you'll be late. Alphino said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. Nah. Sorry, I'm just burping. Burping in suburban. Huh? Congratulations, your beautiful performance is now being recorded live. Do I tell them? Why not? I'll just do this. Alright, I think we're done here. The bombastic music kicked up all of a sudden, so we'll take that as a sign to get a move on. So... Oh, there's more of a crowd here than I thought. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Ul'dah has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Teleji Adeleji and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
And what is your Crystal Braves?
Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
She's right, you know.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Ul'dah to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
concern. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you've been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. Not well abandon Lord Haurchefant and Sir Emmerich to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. I wouldn't call it short-sighted. It's called being a leader of a country. Captain Ilbert, what news? Then the assault has begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights, and thin the Dravanian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. Belzen, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marceline at the Gates of Judgment. He will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Pardon me. Not even the biting cold can stop my bush. You are the appointed captain of the sellsword contingent? Then welcome! There's no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on the Ishgard proper. Wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Should not have left the toll. I didn't even know I could go to the other side. Next. Bring me another. news, adventurer. The reinforcements? Desolated, you say? Barbarian devils, damn their scaly hides! Hold fast your grief and fury, sir. We'll avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. How do you commit yourself to the siege? You should know what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith. A great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds. The bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafin's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outpost layer, the thrice-damned witch, Iceheart, stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge, wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain. We have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would have you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? Hey! The Scions of the Seventh Dawn? We could not well stand idly by while the Horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. And indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisoix has taught us. As for where we may be of most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I shall join the rear guard. Right. If the dragon should reach us, we shall be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Please speak with me again when your preparations are complete. Together we shall stand against the Horde. Ah, this must be the newest addition to the whole encounter. I trust you already then. Good. Now, let us make for the battlefield. This used to be a dungeon. I mean, this used to be a trial encounter. He has a tiny head and a long neck.
Let's finish this quickly, shall we?
I shall make it quick.
Yikes. supposed to man the cannons. Oh dear. Running now.
Aoife! To me!
Oh boy. Nope. No, you idiot. Oh, crap. Okay, yeah, running very fast now.
No holding back.
Come on. That's the best thing you want.
This one'll sting.
Alright. Oh, crap. I knew there was a reason it was in the air. Oh, jeez. Oh dear. Yikes. If you insist. Hey, Asinian.
Know your folly.
He's coming down again. Oh, he's doing the flame black, the flame breath right out of the gate, huh? Oh, it's just really up. Oh, cripes. Oh, crap. Oh, geez, Lucia. Whoa. Damn. Lucia, you got some serious balls. Giving us time. We gotta hurry. Eat shite!
back, dragon! There we are! They're retreating. Good. The dragons are... They're withdrawing! Victory is ours! One of Nidhogg's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. What of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this big battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. And all the rest. I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death can sate my lance. I'm trying to do an edgy... In case you can't tell, I'm trying to do an Edgewood voice. Nelson, the dragons are routed. As you wonder, the fighting at the Seal Vigil was also fierce, and the Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Levier, Bowson, who's your word you arrived to aid us in our hour of need? On behalf of the Holy See, people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray, let us meet anon that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. Can we not do it in your city? We have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Asians and the Empire. But step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis hope that we shall sustain us. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend. And I, for one, will take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievements. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilbert back to El Ul'dah, reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses.
You, my friend, have earned a rest of the Rising Stones. Pray, return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We shall see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Nelson, welcome back. Alphino sent word of the siege, and of course, the role you played in ending it. Deeds never cease to amaze me, Malzin. Thank you. You must be weary, Malzin. Now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent? Pat pat. The messenger for Ul'dah arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Majesty and Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul'Namo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurous contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. And such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgar's return to the Eorzean Alliance. It's scarce time to mourn Moonbreeda, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though we were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray, content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about monumentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent! And please, let me know if there's anything else I can do. That's a bit of a... There's like a paragraph, then a sigh. Curious. I've never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could not be amiss. Oh, I think I know what this is about. I see no sign of the Tataru bean. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Oh, there she is. Oh, Balzan, it's you. Didn't mean to worry anyone, it's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. That's why I should probably talk to Menphilia before things get any worse. Ah, you always know what to say, Balzan. I'm glad we had this little chat. Even though I didn't say anything. Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject with all the recent excitement, but Balzan made me realize there's no time like the present. The time is when I'm here to ask you for. Not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you've certainly earned the rest. I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. In fact, something I've been wanting to try. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers in the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hoary Boulder and Coltonet have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the power to defend myself. And others, more importantly. In return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Are you trying to start a rival with me? Hey, well, hey! It's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Mr. Taru so determined. Has aught befell with which I might help, Antecedent? Not at present, thank you. There is something you would ask of me? Oh, yes. Pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who would join us for escort duty was injured while on patrol. I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars and trust into our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer, of capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well. I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. Oh, thanks, Assistant. I take my leave of you. Power to defend oneself? Tataru has ever been full of surprises. How did I think on it? I do recall Oriange mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Perhaps she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa Laminsa? Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety? I can do one at a time. No, not here. Only down here. Maybe? I don't see her anywhere, so... But at the same time, there's no down arrow from this marker. Wah. Thousand, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. The last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Tataru Taru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. And now that Mistress Brigham's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again. Listen, Thousand, what brings you to the guild? So you're acquainted with our newest member? An arcanist of your experience must see that her potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she will not be denied and goes now to undertake her first trial. A simulated inspection of 3 crates. Doubtless you recall receiving similar training under Kalea's supervision. A thought occurs to me. Why not oversee Tataru's training yourself? Given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task, I think you the ideal choice. You need only head to the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gates, as before. Observe at a distance. For the Azure sees the pirate's port where she made her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught, come the lass whom none could call, to whom none could fool. Beat him with a backtrip, got him with a gust, deck him with a downburst, go carbuncle go! Are those crates I spy? And this must be the true test. But we're ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Carbuncle. Wow. Just fucked right off. Come back, Carbuncle, come back! Come back, Carbuncle, come back! I am not one to shout. Should have known you'd come, Valzen. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Thubrige came. My intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like so much else, is beyond me. Oh. I hate seeing a good Lalafell cry. It's a shame that she never gets to become a proper fighter for the Scions. And because I would have loved to have seen that development where she never stopped trying to become an Arcanist, and eventually the carbuncle becoming loyal all its own. But nope. But nope, we got this. And it feels like a waste of potential. Ah, back so soon. I've had our fledgling Arcanist. Abysmally, Mistress Thubrige. Abysmally, as Valzen will testify. I was wrong to become an Arcanist. Wrong as usual. I'm completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. So Taru, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strengths in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helps you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled to even summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You're too kind, Mistress Thubrige. I still can't say that name right. Though I cannot overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. Seriously, let Tutaru have some magic. And eventually learn to be competent with it. As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful! Then to Costa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off. Let Tataru be a fighter, damn it. This is it. This is where the man at the Drowning Wench told me to look. There's a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of the year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. Pearls? Collect the pearls! Fortune, I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? It should only take a moment. Well fought, Valsy. Well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize. A bounty of blood pearls. So named for the reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. Thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they'll always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people, in a way. Right, well, I mustn't keep Philemon waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the Scions in the Lominsa markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Mazin, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about till we meet again? Pat, 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 pat. Fireworks. Welcome home, Balzan. I gather you found Tataru in Limsa Lominsa? My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure. And while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. Additionally, she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? I'm sorry to say I have yet to been able to do so. Now I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a man of your talents. I have no one else to turn to at the present. Might you be willing to forego rest and assist us in this matter? Generous to a fault. I thank you, Valzan. Now, it only seems fair that I explain the importance of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summon. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, so we asked the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hoary Boulder and Colinet were to act as 2 escorts, as was a 3rd adventurer. Unless due to injury, said adventurer was not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Valzan. Hoary will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe.
Ah, Thousand! Is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Pshaw! What did I tell you, Coronet? A misfortune has become a blessing. An opportunity to serve alongside the warrior of Lord himself.
Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route?
True, but our mission is the same. Separated by moms we may be, but in spirit we shall be together.
If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Thousand, we would have you attend the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud.
He's waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man who will determine the most appropriate locations to his readings. In spirit, Bowser. Spirit we shall be together every step of the way. Even if I can't read.
Last, the Scios' man deigns to grace me with his presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isum Har. Come, we are late enough as is. Fly, my magic bed, fly! Oh dang it, the sheets are all wet. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I'll require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at the appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome. Though if I could make one suggestion, why do you try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future? I do not like to pick faults, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snake Molt awaits, shall we? Actually, I think I might give him a different voice. Sounds a bit too much like Colonet. Or my typical other voices. And he seems like a bit of a snob. Or I could save that for Ishgard. Nah, I'll do both. Right. Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Oh. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Root's Lake. We have one more site to survey. Oh.
As before, my guardian, please leave me to my task and ensure our safety. This data should prove invaluable to... Hey, God, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamant and twice while my back was turned? Quickly now, to get tranquil, I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. No, but to answer your question, no, I did not fight the tourists. I fought the ghosts. You chose to paddle in the Ica for a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessments. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's front. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes. No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along! You come to Cloud District often? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course you don't. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Right, find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. Yes, quite high. It's still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th Astral Era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. Something else. Scion, come here! I need you! That's a Crystal Brave. Wait, that's Wilred. Wilred's corpse. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. There you are, Valzin. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. No. Gold like a hog, but not by one now. These wounds are made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight, either. Nary a mark on the sword or his shield. I've heard of nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause had Wilward to come here? What should we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, Thousand. Aye, and the boys remains. We should return to rise with steps. It's just we want to know what happened here. And so do I.
Yuhase and Ilbert are looking mighty sus right now. I think Briel is gonna need to be the one to know. Oh, he's a very... he strikes me as the most trustworthy of the Braves right now. Allison, you are returned! And you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? We found Railroad's body. We're dead? We got murdered? By the 12th? How can that be? I'll send word to Elfino at once. We will want to conduct a full investigation. Send word to Wilward's family. It's just a boy. Who would do this? And why? Though rough events weigh heavily on our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. We have come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean Alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We've bested Dravanians and Ascians both. Against desperate odds, we have fought and won. But the Primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation, and our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies, broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes in this very room. Dear friend Moonbreda, this is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to present a united front, that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. Seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Ul'dah, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tutaru and Lamin a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. Off to the big soiree, Valzen. Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lad. Something on your mind? It's Wilred and his murdered body. Mother Navigator! Wilred's dead? God's damn. They must know they've been rumbling. I mean, sod it, this past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had to dig around on the quiet like. And sure enough, I found it. Seems a fair bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffers courtesy of a Dodo Consortium. Tough name for a business if I ever heard one. Which is what first gave me an inkling that something's weren't right. So I went through the ledgers again and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are, short of calling us his one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium. I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. Gods only know how many men of the first and third are taken to Lynch's coin. Now we know something. But now we know some of them are. Imagining right-eyed that they're the ones that's what did for Wilfred. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions. Bound to attract attention, he was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't. God's damn me. I still don't see what Teleji hopes to accomplish. He had a scheme with all the care of a drunk pissing in the wind. No, he's cleverer than this. So we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that, you have me word. And Valzen, mind yourself when you're an old eye. We're heading into a storm. I can smell it. The kind will sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. I agree. I strongly agree with that, Wilred. I mean, real. I think this is a good place as any to call it. Thank you all for tuning in, those who did. Tomorrow I hope to be playing some more Ender Lilies. As for another one, although I am a bit excited for the next one of these, so who knows? I might be doing this instead. Maybe I might do it at an earlier point, like a sooner point. I don't know. Point is, look forward to the next one of these. He's where shit's gonna be going down. But for now, and as always, I've been Rippington, and until next time, folks. Bye-bye!